Imagine being compared to LeBron James before you've even played a single NBA game. Imagine becoming an all-star, an elite defender, and one of the league's brightest young stars, all before turning 25. Now imagine losing all of that, not because you forgot how to play basketball, but because something invisible slowly took it away. Confidence disappeared, aggression vanished, fans turned against you, teammates questioned you, injuries piled up. And today, one of the most gifted players of his generation has become one of the greatest mysteries in modern sports. This is the tragic, unexplained collapse of Ben Simmons. Ben Simmons entered the NBA with expectations that very few players have ever experienced. Standing nearly 6'10" with the vision of a point guard and the athleticism of a forward, he looked like the perfect modern basketball player. After being selected first overall by the Philadelphia 76ers in the 2016 NBA draft, Simmons missed his rookie season with a foot injury. But when he finally stepped onto the court in 2017, he immediately justified the hype. He won Rookie of the Year, averaged nearly a triple-double on many nights, dazzled fans with highlight passes, and looked destined to become one of the league's next superstars. The only obvious weakness in his game was his inability or unwillingness to shoot from outside. But because he dominated every other area, most people believed that part of his game would eventually come. For the next few seasons, Simmons continued to rise. He became a three-time NBA All-Star, earned multiple All-Defensive First-Team selections, and finished second in Defensive Player of the Year voting in 2021. His ability to guard every position on the floor made him one of the most versatile defenders in basketball. He could shut down elite guards one night and battle dominant centers the next. While critics constantly mocked his lack of shooting, his elite defense, rebounding, playmaking, and transition offense made him one of the most valuable young players in the league. On the surface, everything seemed to be going exactly as expected, but beneath the success, cracks were beginning to form. Every offseason, fans waited for videos of Simmons confidently taking jump shots, hoping this would finally be the year he expanded his offensive game. Every preseason brought excitement. Every regular season brought disappointment. He rarely attempted three-pointers, avoided mid-range shots, and often refused open looks altogether. Opposing defenses noticed. They stopped guarding him outside the paint, shrinking the floor for his teammates and exposing a weakness that became impossible to ignore in the playoffs. Then came the 2021 Eastern Conference semifinals against the Atlanta Hawks, a series that completely changed the course of his career. Simmons struggled offensively throughout the matchup, but one moment became unforgettable. Late in Game 7, with a wide-open path to the basket, Simmons unexpectedly passed the ball instead of attempting an easy dunk. It was a split-second decision that shocked fans around the world. The 76ers were eliminated, and instantly that play became a symbol of something much bigger than a missed opportunity. It looked like a player who no longer trusted himself. The reaction afterward was brutal. Fans criticized him relentlessly. Sports shows replayed the clip endlessly. Memes flooded social media. Even worse, members of his own organization appeared to lose faith. Head coach Doc Rivers publicly questioned whether Simmons could be the point guard of a championship team. Star teammate Joel Embiid indirectly pointed to the passed-up dunk as the turning point of the game. Whether those comments were fair or not, the damage had already been done. Simmons became one of the most heavily criticized athletes in the world almost overnight. What followed remains one of the strangest chapters in NBA history. Simmons requested a trade and refused to report to training camp. Reports surfaced that he was struggling mentally and dealing with severe anxiety related to basketball. Many people sympathized, while others accused him of using mental health as an excuse to avoid playing. The truth was likely far more complicated. Mental health struggles are rarely visible, and confidence, especially at the highest level of professional sports, can disappear much faster than people realize. Whatever Simmons was experiencing, it was clearly affecting every part of his career. Eventually, Philadelphia traded him to the Brooklyn Nets in exchange for James Harden. At first, the move looked like the fresh start Simmons desperately needed. Away from the pressure of Philadelphia, fans hoped he could rebuild both his confidence and his game. Instead, new problems emerged. A serious back injury delayed his debut, and surgeries followed. Even after returning, he looked nothing like the explosive player fans remembered. The speed was gone. The aggression disappeared. He often seemed hesitant to attack the basket, and physically he struggled to move with the same freedom that had once made him so dangerous. The saddest part of Ben Simmons' story is that there was never one single reason for his downfall. It wasn't just the shooting, it wasn't just the criticism, it wasn't just the injuries, it wasn't just mental health, it was likely a devastating combination of all four. Physical injuries robbed him of athleticism. Public humiliation shattered his confidence. Endless expectations became impossible to carry. And once confidence disappears in professional sports, rebuilding it can be one of the hardest challenges any athlete faces. History has seen plenty of talented players decline, but Ben Simmons' fall remains one of the most puzzling. His basketball IQ, passing, and defensive instincts never completely disappeared, yet the fearless confidence that once defined his game did. The talent was still there, but the belief wasn't. His story became a powerful reminder that basketball is just as much a mental game as it is a physical one. Today, Simmons remains one of the NBA's biggest what-if stories. What if he had developed a jump shot? What if the fallout in Philadelphia had been handled differently? What if injuries had never interrupted his prime, or the pressure had never become overwhelming? We'll never know. What we do know is that one of basketball's brightest young stars faded far sooner than anyone expected, leaving behind more questions than accomplishments. Ben Simmons' story isn't just about basketball. It's about how confidence, health, pressure, and public scrutiny can completely change the trajectory of even the most gifted athletes. And maybe that's why his downfall remains so fascinating years later. If you enjoyed this deep dive and want more stories about the rise and fall of sports legends, make sure to subscribe, leave a like, and let me know in the comments which athlete story you'd like to see next. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.